What's the best way to explore if you're really into women or if you actually like men? This is a great question, a question that I once thought about 4 years ago before I totally came out of the closet. First of all, I'd ask myself, does the thought of a man touching you repulse you? Does the thought of touching a woman repulse you? If you can get clear about one being repulsive and the other being something you actually desire, then it's pretty clear. Now, if you're like, oh, wait, I could be somewhere in between where it doesn't actually repulse me, it intrigues me, I've never done it before, there is a little bit of desire there. That is undeniable. And what would happen if you tried it and you haven't tried being with a woman before and you're questioning that? That means there's something you must explore there. I highly recommend looking up the kinseyscale. So it's 6 degrees, and 0 being like you're super straight and 6 being you are flaming homosexual. Most people in the world fall somewhere in between, whether or not they want to admit it. There's been research to prove it. I'd look up the Kinsey scale. I would take that test and just see where you fall and see how you feel about the results that are revealed once you take the test. Because I once was with men, although I identify as a lesbian, I fall as a 5, not a 6 on the Kinsey scale. But I joke and tell everyone I'm so a 5.5 because I'm just not interested in men. So go take this test, come back, and if you're comfortable, share your results with us. If you're finding yourself more attracted to women, this is something that you actually should try to figure out. In which case, I highly recommend that you would get yourself into a situation where you get to explore actually being physical on some level with a girl, because you got to actually do something to know if it's really what you want. Now, you could live your whole life never physically touching a woman, but still identify as bi or pan because you know those desires are there. That's totally valid. But if you're like, I want to experience this, like, how do I know that I'm going to enjoy it physically? Then I highly recommend you actually start exploring that and probably get on some dating app that allows you the opportunity to go on some casual dates and perhaps hook up with people. That's really weird coming from me because I am a lesbian who has the Queer Country Club. Like, I founded a lesbian dating platform based on knowing very clearly that you want to live an RIP with a woman, meaning you don't get on my platform to date unless you're ready to find your life partner, like no experimentation stuff going on. People ask me all the time, can you be bi or pan, not identify as a lesbian and get on the Queer Country Club? Of course, but you have to be at the place in your mind, in your heart, in your life experience where you go, look, I might be bi or pan or whatever it is, but I'm very well aware that I actually want my life partner to be someone who identifies as a woman. That is what you're going to find in the Queer Country Club. So in this case, if you were like wanting to explore, hook up, figure it out, which is something most of us have had to do, okay? Because a lot of us, me included, didn't come out of the womb feeling safe to be out and proud and be a lesbian. So I assumed that I was attracted to men until I realized that I wasn't, which took being so much later in life and so many experiences, so many traumatic experiences to figure out like, oh, this is not for me. This is like going against everything in me to have a man touch me. So highly recommend in your case, not getting on my lesbian dating platform, but actually getting on a dating app where you have an opportunity to like have fun, figure it out, have some casual experiences. I'm not saying sleep around. If that's not your thing, like it's never been my thing, nothing wrong with it if that's your thing, but like it's not mine. I'm not saying you need to do that to figure it out, but you need to be open and upfront with the people that you have these interactions with, whether it's just going on a date or kissing someone, holding someone's hand, or actually sleeping with someone, whatever it is. You should probably just be upfront with them that like this is something you're figuring out. And you're not ready for like a super committed, like I'm going to marry you type of relationship. Just let them know that right away. Be authentic about where you're at. That's my advice to you, pure conscious love. I appreciate your comment, and come back to me in like 2 years when you're like, hey, I played the field. I ended up like dating a man again, and I realized very clearly that I will never date men again, and I'm ready to settle down with a woman. When that's you, and you're like super clear, That's when you DM me and say, can I get an application for the Queer Country Club? I'm ready to settle down with a woman for life.